Good evening, everybody. From our living rooms to yours, we hope you've all had a wonderful and spooky October. And we thank you for your hospitality in allowing us to conduct this Zoom presentation for you. Before we continue, I would like to clarify the question that's probably on your mind. I am not the principal of Woodside. I am far too young to be as such. My name is Ethan Lau, and I am the student body president here at Woodside High School. I was recently asked to open this information night and introduce our host. But before I do, I want to add a quick note for those of you considering Woodside to be your student's future high school. I've been a Woodside student for nearly 4 years, and I've accumulated many experiences that remind me that there is no high school like Woodside. But words can only go so far, so to throw a fun fact out there that might interest you, it just happens that Stanford University's football team practiced this year at Woodside High School's facilities. So at your next Cardinal game, expect to see a little bit more orange there. And if you are a fan of Cal's Golden Bears, my most sincere apologies. But let me just say this. No matter what your student's interest is, they will be able to find it here at Woodside. But that being said, none of this would be possible without the guiding hand of someone I've known for the near half decade I've cherished at Woodside. She guides our school's quotidian administration and quintessentially embodies the very spirit and zest of our community. And she has a slight obsession with our school color orange. I mean, she has yet to completely convince all members of our administration to adopt her exclusively orange wardrobe. But with that in mind, it is my privilege to introduce our Commander-in-Chief, our orange leader. Please welcome Woodside High School's principal, Miss Diane Burbank. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ethan. I know I'm old enough to be principal, and sometimes I think I'm a little too old. Thank you for joining us tonight. At the bottom of your screen, it is a translation button, and our Spanish-speaking translator will do simultaneous translation. Her name is Trinidad Lara, so welcome. Press the translation button at the bottom of the screen. Mr. Negri, can you say that in Spanish, please? Just so to make sure they hear it.
Bienvenidos. Estamos traduciendo en el mismo tiempo que estamos hablando en inglés. Si miras abajo, vas a ver el círculo. Ahí puedes tocar, hacer clic y puedes escuchar todo en español.
Thank you so much. A little bit more about my background. Although I've been at Woodside 9 years, you know, Wildcats have 9 lives at least, I once was a high school student as well. In high school, I was a high achiever and a little bit of a snotty teenager, go figure. I earned my undergraduate in English because I always knew I wanted to teach. I grew up in Denver and I stayed close to home at the University of Denver. What brought me to California was Stanford. I've earned 2 master's degrees from Stanford, and I'm an experienced California public educator. I taught for 4 years in middle school before I graduated to high school. And like I said, I'm an English teacher and an English major. I like to say I'm a recovering English teacher. Mr. Mueller, you'll meet him later, knows what I mean. I did the bulk of my teaching and all my high school teaching at Gunn High School in Palo Alto. This is my 18th year overall as a principal, and Woodside is my 3rd and best school. Tonight, you will get a glimpse of how we do our work at Woodside. In my family, I was a first-time college goer, so I take that mission very seriously to get your students ready for their next steps and ready to be successful in college. But I certainly don't do it all my own, even though not everybody wears as much orange as I do. I want to introduce, first of all, AVP Chuck Belskow, who will work with your student if their last name is at the end of the alphabet. He's a veteran Wildcat. He's been a Wildcat since 2001. He was a coach and a social studies teacher for AP US History and a lot of other social studies courses. And he was an athletic director. During his time in college, he was a football player at UC Davis. And so that informs his leadership of our athletic program. Mr. Belskow, please say hello so that your screen, so everybody can get a look at Chuck.
Good evening, prospective Wildcats. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I forgot to remind our attendees to put their view on speaker view so you can meet each of our staff in this odd Zoom webinar setting. And then Miss Bizet, she's been on campus only 30 years. She really knows and loves Woodside. She's the science teacher. I'm the English teacher. She's the science teacher. Your name doesn't have to be Diane to work here, but you can tell that it helps. She builds a yearly master schedule with the focus on putting your student needs first. And she drives our instruction with data and works with the department chairs you'll meet later. Miss Mizet, please say hello.
Good evening. Thank you, Diane.
And then rounding out our team is a Vice Principal, Wendy Porter. She's been on campus 21 years, so you can see I'm the newbie. She too is a Stanford grad and a social studies teacher and department chair. She was an award-winning swimmer in high school. Her specialty on campus is working with students with IEPs, the special education department, and the inclusion model we use here at Woodside High School. She takes care of students whose names are at the first half of the alphabet. So let's do a big Zoom applause or snaps for my administrative team. Lots of help here. Thank you. So how do we do the work we do? What are our guiding documents and principles? The first one is a mission statement that is now a decade old, and it still rings true and there's still work to do. All Woodside students can and will learn. All means all. That means all ethnicities. Our demographics are 45% Hispanic, 45% white, about 2% African American, 5% Asian, Pacific Islander, and 2 or more races. All means all. It means our 15% of students who are learning English as a second language or a third language. Our 30% of students who qualify for free and reduced price lunch. Our 12% of our student population who are served with an IEP or designated as special education, and our 40% of students who are enrolled in more than one or more advanced placement classes. And of course, a student can be in multiple of those groups. Neither of those groups are exclusive of any other. So it's not just the words all students can and will learn, it's also our big ideas. Big Read, College Day, 8 Conditions of Student Success, Senior Thesis, Tutorial. You'll hear about all of those things throughout this evening. Non-academic means to academic ends. Make no mistake about it. Our first priority is getting your students a diploma so that they can do the next thing that they want to do. Likely that's going to be going to college. We are a Qualia demonstration school. Qualia is an institute on the East Coast that has researched these 8 conditions of student success. And this is where we begin with students. It doesn't matter what neighborhood your student lives in. It doesn't matter what their preparation level is. It doesn't matter what language you speak at home. It doesn't matter what your income level is. We focus all of our 450 to 500 incoming freshmen on the Woodside Way and get all of our students up to our expectations with a lot of support. When we think that all of these arrows, when kids belong, when they have a hero, when they're curious and creative, when they're taking leadership, when those arrows are going upward, we know that academic and achievement arrows follow. So this is always where we start, but never where we end. So I want to talk a little bit about opportunity, community, and excellence. They are big, big ideas, but you'll get some strategies and some how we do this important work, providing opportunity, building community, and being committed to excellence. First, opportunity. Woodside High School, because we're so well positioned in Redwood City, on the peninsula, in Silicon Valley, we have many electives that your students can choose with partners. We have Build. We work with Microsoft on coding. We ask you in the community to be Academy mentors. Our engineering program works with Engineer Your World out of University of Texas at El Paso and Project Lead the Way, which is local. We also have a great relationship with Boys and Girls Club. And of course, opportunity is in leadership. When I had 90 students sign up for leadership, how do we pay for all of those electives where kids who want to be leaders? Do we say, freshman, you're not ready, there's no room for you? Do we say, oh, you can only be a leader if your peers elect you? Or do we let everybody in who wants to see themselves for a leader and wants to try new things so that they can be elected, they can work in shadowing, they can be team captains, they can serve on a class board at lunchtime, they can start their own clubs and be a president, vice president, treasurer, they can work on senior thesis, they can serve on SDMC, our site council on steroids. You'll hear more about that later. So leadership, there are many ways for students to get involved, including signing up for one of the electives. And we've got 3 leadership classes with 90 kids. If we get 120 students, we'll have 4 leadership classes. Don't tell Miss With I'm talking about it because she might faint. And of course, the arts. We don't forget the arts either. We have talent showcases by Zoom this year. We'll have a fall play by Zoom this year. Hopefully we get back to the stage in our Performing Arts Center soon. We'll have a spring musical, and we celebrate art in what we call on-campus art booms that are during the school day, where students in all of our art classes get to show their talent. We also, of course, build community. And so let's talk about what that looks like here at Woodside High School. Well, you know, we had to do things a little bit differently this fall, but we still have the day planner provided for every single student. We had an arena check-in by drive-through. We had the freshman assembly and freshman elections. We're old hat at doing it online. So all those states that are scared about mail-in voting, we've got it wired. Freshman assembly, we happen to do by Zoom this year. And a hallmark of Woodside High School is we have freshman transition, where older students are trained to lead 7 different lessons within the heterogeneously grouped social studies course that starts with life skills that deliver content about the Woodside Way and provides mentorship for a group of 8 or 9 freshmen with 2 or 3 upperclassmen. And of course, this year we have toolkits by course, because not every student has everything they need at home to do the science labs we need, to cook the food in the culinary classes. And so we're doing toolkits by course. Oh, and I almost forgot, the art classes sent home clay. Can't wait to see what they produce at home. We have counselors assigned to 9th grade English classes. So when your student, incoming freshman, meets their counselor, the counselor will zoom in or appear in class and say, you are my people. All of you belong to me. That's for the freshman year. Your student will stick with that counselor for 4 years, but we think it's important during that freshman year that they see that one counselor and not just are told, oh, the office is over there somewhere, but they have and can see their real counselor. We also have a robust Safe School Ambassador program to make campus a safe place for belonging. As I said, we're the Sunflower School and we believe in the 8 conditions. Remember, those are the non-academic means to academic ends. Usually we have a Club Rush. It's a great day in the quad. This year we did it as a Club Rush webinar. And of course, we're great at Spirit Week. This year it happened to be on Instagram. And we had just this week, a donor paid for SAT on campus for our seniors, because over the spring they'd gotten frozen out of all the SAT tests. We were able to bring them here on campus. That's an example of all means all. And of course, excellence. We're an advanced placement school. And in my day, we called advanced standing AS, just honors, but here at Woodside, we call it advanced standing. Your student will have lots of options to challenge him or herself and into subjects that they love. I always remind parents, the kids are taking the class, not you. We are an open access school when it comes to advanced placement. That means that you don't have to test to get in. You don't have to go get a teacher recommending signature to get into an AP class. That's what I mean by open access. If your student wants to challenge him or herself with an advanced standing class, we will explain the rigor. We will explain the need for independent learning. We will explain all of the supports that we offer. But if your student signs up, they will get the class. We don't cut any enrollment off. We build our master schedule after your student has made selections. Now, here's the caveat to that. Once your student is in it and has told me 2 times that's what he or she wants, that's what they're going to get, and it's going to be for the whole year. And so I want to introduce again Diane Mazet, Instructional Vice Principal, who will talk about some academic information for you before she's joined by all the department chairs.
Thank you, Diane. And again, welcome prospective Wildcat family members. Our secret sauce is in our master schedule and in our highly qualified staff. You put those 2 together and students will soar and they will find their interests after the 4 years with us. So along with the master schedule that is based on student need and choice, you are going to hear so much about choice. Many of you are coming from partner schools right now where your schedule is given to you. You might have 1 course that you could maybe take. So you're not going to be used to it. And it might be even a little frustrating, but once you start making those choices based on your interest and talking with your family, you are going to soar. Our master schedule is complemented by our block schedule. One of the reasons we went to a rotating block schedule is to reduce stress in students and in teachers. And when you do that, that equals happy teachers and happy students and happy parents too. There's another thing that sets us apart, and that is no homework over major breaks and holidays. Wait, did you all hear that clapping and cheering in the background? We really believe strongly that there are times when students need to be with their families, teachers need to be with their families and take a break from the rigors of the academic world. And believe me, there will be enough homework when you return, you won't even miss it. The other thing that we do really well is we understand if we are going to create all this choice and all this opportunity that we need to support students at every level. And that's what we do. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that. But the thing that you really want to know, what is my child going to take next year? And here it is. All of our required classes are what we consider A through G. UC, California State University college prep classes. You'll always see a little dash P after every course that your child appears on your child's schedule. So I'm going to talk about the 2 courses that are, if you look at it as a menu, they're kind of price fixed. They're fixed menu courses for you. And one of those is in the social science department, and it is life skills for 1 quarter, followed by ethnic studies for 3 quarters. And then every 9th grader gets to take PE as a 9th grader. That is non-negotiable. You get to do it. That's right. The rest of the courses in English, math, and science, and your elective choice, those are all choices. So you're going to have to sit down with your family and you're going to say, do I want to take college preparatory English, or do I want to take advanced standing, which is the precursor to AP, English 1? Do I want to take math? Which math am I in right now? Our entry-level math is Algebra 1 all the way to college calculus. So it's a wide range of choice. And then there's science. That's right, science. Physics or biology for 9th graders. Those are your 2 great choices. And again, you'll have to figure out, what kind of learner am I? Which course do I wish to take? And then there's the elective choice. Many students for their 6th class will take a world language. And you will hear the options for world language a little bit later in this program. Now, the district staffs us for 6 classes. Many of our students can take 7th classes. We don't recommend that for everyone, but if you have the time in your schedule and after school and want to take 7 classes, in certain classes you may. So in normal times, this is our rotating block with a tutorial bell schedule. And that, what does that look like? An A day, or in distance learning, it's called odd. You would have first period every day, Monday through Friday, for 50 minutes. 50% of our students have a first period, 50% don't start till 9 o'clock. If you have 7 classes, guess what? You get a first period. On A day, we go periods 3rd, 5th, and 7th. And on B days, 2nd, 4th, and 6th. And there's a tutorial period in there, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday, where students can select where they wish to get their help from whichever teacher they desire at the time. We're in distance learning right now. Our students really miss this bell schedule. We're in 70-minute block periods right now, calling odd and even days. So parents, you're going to have 2 opportunities to make changes to your course listing. Counselors are assigned to partner schools. You're going to sign up virtually to the courses that you wish to take. You'll get 2 choices of elective because 97% of you will get your first choice. And then we will send it back to you and say, these are your courses. You get 1 more chance to say, no, they are not. This is what I want. After that, boom, we go to work, we staff it, we balance it, we go through every single schedule. And on the very first day of school, our goal is to make sure every student belongs and their schedule is the appropriate schedule to stretch them. What supports do we have? All levels of support. The first one, in distance learning cohorts, we were just allowed to have 2 cohorts of 12 students to 1 supervisor on campus for connectivity. We have a den. It's an after-school homework cafe in normal times. The students designed it. They said they wanted a Starbucks-like atmosphere with good food and good instructors, and they got all of it and they showed up. We have Q Study, which is a quiet study, a place where you kind of drop your cell phone off in your backpack and you do the work independently. Tutorial 4 days a week. We have 2 academies that students can enter in their 10th grade year, the Green and the Business Technology Academy. We have AVID, which you'll hear a little bit more about later. And then during the summer, look for our summer opportunities. There's many chances for your students to come on campus and enrich their readiness for school. And Boys and Girls Club is located. They have an office on our campus and off campus. So that's just a little bit of our supports. Now, I'm going to introduce you to the people that really make it happen for us. They're our instructional leaders. I'm honored to present to you the chair of the mathematics department, Mr. Jonathan Stewart.
Thanks, Diane. Welcome, prospective Wildcats. The Woodside Math Department consists of passionate teachers who strive to help students understand the beauty of mathematics. Our goal is that every student see math as a tool to interpret the world around them. It's not just about computation, it's a subject that promotes creativity. It teaches critical thinking, and it's embedded in collaboration, problem solving, and students' ability to justify their thinking. Mathematical proficiency is fundamental to our evolving world. And so our course offerings reflect this idea. We seek to offer students opportunities to explore their interests through mathematics. Most students will begin in Algebra 1, but followed by Geometry and Algebra 2. And it is in these courses that they will learn to explore advanced mathematics they'll need for later studies. They'll learn how to model using functions and data. They'll analyze graphical representations to help make decisions about situations, and they'll learn to negotiate collaborative processes with their peers to solve complex problems. Beyond these, we offer a variety of fourth-year courses to provide all students the opportunity to continue their math education. So from pre-calculus to AP calculus, AP statistics, and even general statistics, where students learn research methods using data. Students can find a class that suits them and a course pathway that suits them. And as you can see from our course pathway, there's not a single track. So students can enter and leave courses from multiple directions. We want to make sure that students are finding the course combination that fits their desires. We even partner with Kenyatta College to offer students college-level mathematics here on campus for free. So students can take college math with a Kenyatta professor for free here on campus. For more information about our course offerings, or if you have any questions regarding those, please visit our department's website on the school website. And now I am pleased to introduce the chair of the science department, Jill Baumgartel.
Thank you, John. My name is Jill Baumgartel. I'm the science department chair. I teach AS chemistry as well as supervise the newly equipped fitness center where students can come after school and work out with me or even make up a PE absence. Woodside provides some interesting opportunities for students to study both physical and life science. Woodside has adopted the next generation science standards, which better reflect an analytical and lab-based approach to science instruction. We believe in the philosophy of three-dimensional learning. At Woodside, science is a verb. Freshman year, students have a choice. Biology is a course that includes biotechnology, genetics, evolution, ecology, and climate change. Activities include forensic bacterial transformation and building eco-columns to study the interaction between organisms. Physics 9 offers traditional intro physics concepts and a hands-on discussion way approach. The course comes with a heavy focus on mathematical, graphical, and computational analysis. Students will also develop learning skills needed to be successful in future high school courses. Activities include coding and building a Rube Goldberg machine. Upper division offerings include advanced levels of biology, chemistry, environmental science, engineering, and physics. Woodside has a state-of-the-art chemistry lab and engineering robotics lab in the J Wing. The facilities are stellar. As department chair, one of my goals is to ensure that every student is fully supported by our science department. Woodside High School will make every effort to guide your student towards a strong, positive pathway. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact me on our science department webpage, where you can read about course descriptions and take a closer look at our pathway chart. Thank you. I'd like to introduce the English department chair, Tony Mueller.
Hi, my name is Tony Mueller, and I am a sophomore and senior English teacher and the chair of our English department. The English department at Woodside High School offers a rich and rigorous humanities curriculum to all of our students. Starting in the freshman year, students are supported to develop their reading, writing, speaking, and listening skills for success in high school and college. Incoming students can elect to enroll in a college prep English course or a more challenging advanced standing course. Those students choosing to take AS English 1 should have a passion for reading and writing, the willingness to be independent learners, and the desire and capacity for hard work. All students should prepare for each school year by completing the required summer reading assignment. The foundation for our instruction is the belief that students flourish when they are active in their own learning. We're committed to raising student achievement through high expectations and a focus on critical, creative thinking. As a capstone project, all Woodside seniors write an extensive research paper as part of our senior thesis. And though Woodside is the only school in the district to require the senior thesis, and some complain about its difficulty, we receive countless emails from our graduates thanking us for preparing them for college level research and writing. Whether students participate in our robust honors or advanced placement courses, or are enrolled in our challenging college preparation courses, students and their parents can be confident that they will receive a rigorous English education at Woodside High School. Thank you for your time. I hope to see you guys all next year. Now I'd like to welcome Jenny Ortez, the chair of the Social Studies Department.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Buenas noches. With the internet so readily available, the Social Studies Department emphasizes critical thinking skills, the evaluation of reliable sources, and the examination of history from a global perspective. The freshman year consists of life skills during the first quarter, developing decision-making techniques by examining common teen issues and health. The rest of the year will focus on ethnic studies, which recognizes, celebrates, and helps develop positive social identities to build unity within our diverse school. The subsequent world studies and US history classes, in addition to economics and government, all build upon this foundation. Students will have the opportunity to earn college credit through our AP courses or pursue an elective such as anthropology or psychology. Teachers focus on building students' research and writing skills over 4 years, culminating in the senior thesis, a collaborative project with the English department that is unique to Woodside. We want all students to leave with a strong body of knowledge, the skills necessary to become an empowered voice, and the ability to embrace and value friendships among different races, cultures, and identities. Thank you. Muchas gracias. I'd like to introduce you to the Special Education Department Chair, Jayu Mehta.
Good evening, prospective parents. It's a pleasure to welcome you to Woodside's Parent Family Night. In addition to being a study skills teacher, I also teach a period of co-taught biology, and I support our co-teaching teams at Woodside High School. Our special education department has a myriad of programs. We service students from a variety of disabilities that range from mild learning disabilities to severe learning and physical disabilities. Our department is comprised of 4 basic services. The majority of students who attend Woodside will take mainstream classes and 1 period of study skills. And these students are usually on a high school diploma track. The first service is study skills. The study skills is taught by a credentialed ed specialist, also called a case manager. They manage all components of a student's IEP. And students would take study skills as part of their elective. Students are grouped according to grade levels. It's a supported environment where they receive support to work on assignments for other classes, complete tests and quizzes, retake, relearn, and also address goals, accommodations, and transition planning, all as indicated in their IEP. The second service is co-taught classes. Our goal is to always have students participate in the general education curriculum to the maximum extent possible. But having said that, not all of our classes can be co-taught. It's designed to give students support in the college prep courses in the areas of English, math, science, and social science. It's usually the model is 2 teachers, 1 general education teacher and a special education teacher who plan and deliver the instruction to help with the assessment of student progress. At transition meetings, typically at the 8th grade level, the middle school teachers are asked to complete a rubric for support that helps us identify how a student is performing in class. And this rubric serves as a basis for conversation on whether a student would benefit from co-teaching. A third service we offer is our independent living skills program. This is a highly structured, highly modified functional academic and life skills curriculum. Students in this program are usually not on a high school diploma track. The components of the program include academic instruction, independence training, social skills, and transition services. Our students in this program are fully included in all activities in our school, as well as in the electives that they choose to take. The fourth service we offer is called the STARS program, Successful Transition Achieved with Responsive Support. It is a small academic learning environment with the special education teacher and a mental health counselor embedded to provide support. And they work as a team collaboratively and offer all their services as determined by your student's IEP. Because of all the variety of services at Woodside, I'm proud to say this is a wonderful place for your student to belong. If your student is currently attending a private school, please contact your middle school of attendance to help create an IEP or update one, and we will be meeting you during transition meetings. If you'd like to speak to someone in the special education department, please contact Lisa Reed. She's our program specialist at the district level who can help answer any questions. And at the Woodside website, you will find my contact information. Thank you, parents. And with that, it is a pleasure for me to introduce Julie Gomez, our World Language Department Chair.
Muy buenas noches, tengan todos ustedes y sean bienvenidos a nuestra escuela Woodside High School. Good evening. I welcome you all to our World Language Department, to our community. My name is Julie Gomez, and I'm here. I am the chair of the World Language Department. I also teach several different levels of the native speaker, heritage speaker classes, and I also teach the AP Spanish Literature and Culture class. And I would like to talk to you about who we are, what the World Language Department is all about. And we are a group of dedicated teachers who are passionate about teaching and sharing with our students all about the diversity of this world. When our students learn a new language, they not only learn how to conjugate verbs or memorize phrases, you know, like hola, ¿cómo estás? Bonjour. Do they have to do that? Yes. But we want our students to learn to see the world with a different perspective. And that's when they do, when they learn a new language. We want to make sure they learn about different cultures, traditions, way of doing things. You know, when we learn a new language, we begin to understand why a group of people, a community, a country think, act, or respond in certain ways. So in addition, when our students here at Woodside learn a new language, they are also learning practical skills that they will use in their everyday life. Not just when you travel, you know, if you know the language, you are in a different mindset. Maybe if you go to a restaurant, you will not only be able to communicate and say, you know, order the food in that language, but you will be able to recognize maybe a traditional dish. And then you will say, oh, Mademoiselle Spalacino told me this is the cake that you eat for Christmas only. Or maybe you will know, oh, mole, yeah, the roots, they are pre-Hispanic. So what we want here at Woodside and what we believe is that our students will be able to understand and have better communication with other cultures, will have an open mind to work with each other. And I think this is a valuable skill that we must have. And here at Woodside, we also offer a variety of pathways that our students can choose. We have Mandarin from levels 1 through AP. We also have Latin, also levels 1 through AP. French, levels 1 through AP. And then we also have our native speakers program for those students who come from Spanish immersion programs or who speak or listen, you know, they hear the Spanish language at home. We have the levels also 2, 3, 4. And then we have the regular Spanish for those who are curious, who want to learn Spanish for the first time. We also offer the levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course, we do have an AP language and culture class, and we have an AP Spanish literature class. So I can assure you that here at Woodside, we will make sure that your student will not only learn the language, but will have a different way of looking at the world. If you have any other questions or for more information, please visit our websites page on the school's website. And muchas gracias. And now I am pleased to introduce the chair of the PE department, Laura Perdicomatis. Gracias.
Thank you, Julie. So I've been to the 8th grade parent night as a department chair for maybe 15 or so years, but this is the first time that I'm here as a prospective parent as well. I can't believe class of 2025. And we have a fantastic PE department at Woodside. 3 of our 6 department members are Woodside High School graduates, including yours truly. And not only do students get to take PE as a freshman, they also get to choose which class they take. So we offer dance and a traditional PE, 1 class per freshman. Sophomores get to choose another option in weight training, so they can take regular PE2 dance, or weight training. We have a brand new fitness center that was just updated right when COVID hit. So it's sitting there ready to go with tons of functional fitness equipment. We have motorless treadmills, we have rowers, ski ergs, spin bikes, sandbags, medicine balls, monkey bars, slam balls, and way more fun stuff that I cannot wait to get back to. Our 9th graders also are the only 9th graders in the district to complete a fun triathlon. We do a 200-yard swim. They do, I should say. A 200-yard swim, although I have done it. A 2-mile bike ride and a 1-mile run for completion. And PE is a lot of fun at Woodside. And now I'm happy to introduce Sarah LaFour, the Visual and Performing Arts Department Chair.
Hello, everybody. Hello, I'm Sarah LaFour, ceramics teacher and sponsor of the Clay Club and department chair of the Digital, Visual, and Performing Arts. It is a mouthful, but it's a bunch of fun classes. As you can see, we offer a wide variety of elective arts classes that also includes culinary arts, which is not on the slide, but its recently remodeled cooking and learning space provides kids with industry standard experiences and an opportunity for a complete CTE pathway. So to begin, our music production classes allows kids to make and produce all types of music, access to a fully equipped recording studio. Our video classes range from critiquing classic and modern films to recording daily announcements, creating short films, music videos, and more, and they highlight it all in a biannual film festivals. Our photography, animation, web design programs all allow students to create art in a digital format, and most allow students to earn art credit and move on to a CTE pathway. We do have 4 AP courses offered within our department. 2 are a different AP computer science classes, along with an AP 2-dimensional and an AP 3-dimensional art and design. Traditional art classes, this allows students to learn and advance in drawing, painting, collage, printmaking, and more. My personal favorite, ceramics, is one of the few dirty arts classes and gives kids the opportunity to use their hands and their brains to create amazing 3D art. Our growing music program is always a blast for students, offering an opportunity to sing, play, or even learn how to play instruments in small and large ensembles. Finally, our drama program produces a spring musical, smaller student-directed productions, and a fall play, and we're known in the community for our quality productions. Electives are a huge reason why some students love coming to Woodside, and it's a big reason why we all love teaching here, my department. It's where they can truly explore, your student will excel and relax and be creative and have fun in a different way than in their academic classes.
Hi, my name is Francisco Negri. I'm the head guidance counselor. I have a staff of 5 full-time counselors. As Ms. Burbank said, your students will be assigned a counselor at the start of freshman year and will follow you and your students, your family for the 4 years that they're at Woodside, hoping to build rapport. And although we're a large school, really making it an individualized experience. We also have 3 college advisors that work with students individually and in groups to be able to make sure that they can start to plan ahead for whatever it is that they're interested in doing beyond high school. Along with the counselors, we also have an array of staff, counseling office staff, from folks that lead a 9th grade mentor program through our student advocacy program to a robust therapeutic services program for students that are needing to work individually with folks just to work things out through our CAP program. Our counseling office follows the national model addressing the 3 domains of academics, social emotional learning, and career exploration. Our whole staff understands that high school is not only just about the academics, but it's really just about understanding the world around them and how they fit into it. And so we really are here to address the whole student and make sure the experience is one that they can look back on excited and fulfilled. Now, when you're looking at our comprehensive program, we do some things systematically to make sure that all students get that experience. For students coming in the 9th grade, you can rest assured that your students will create a 4-year plan in their 2nd semester to be able to project out and see what it would take to graduate from high school and how they can make it their own. That is just one of many things that we do systematically to make sure that your student has a well-rounded experience. But we also make sure that we lend the time for your students to be able to have individualized help and to make sure that their experience is not just one that's a cookie cutter, but one that fits what they're interested in. As guidance counselors, as our counseling department, we're not here to tell your students what to do. That's your job. What our job is to make sure that your students prepared for whatever it is that they want to do at the end of 4 years, and that they have all the abilities to be able to carry that out. Our college center also works with students individualized and systematically. Like Ms. Mazzei said earlier, we were able to pull off offering the SAT to over 80 students that wanted to take the SAT this year, seniors. We also offer opportunities to take the PSAT. We also do overnight college tours, and we offer a college day where we take all freshmen to, we went last year to UC Santa Cruz. Obviously, due to circumstances, we were unable to travel this year so far, but we're hoping to continue that next year, knowing that students really have a good opportunity to understand what's out there. Over 90% of our students will choose higher education, whether that's a 4-year or a community college. Over 70% of our students are prepared to attend a 4-year college directly from high school. Every student is on track to be able to attend a 4-year college directly from high school, and is really what your student makes of their experience. And so we're excited to be able to guide your family through this experience, and we hope to work in partnership with you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Negri. I want to brag a little bit. You know, being a principal is kind of like being a parent, except I win because I've got 2,000. And last year's senior class of 2020, I didn't get to shake their hands on the stage, but we did a great diploma drive-through, and I got to reach out a paw and shake from afar, make eye contact through the cars, and see. It was really neat that seniors got to travel through the drive-through diploma line with teachers along the bus circle walkway, cheering and making noise for the seniors, and see the seniors usually in the passenger seat surrounded by a packed car of family. It's one of my favorite memories that I've only had once. I don't want to have it again, but I want to brag a little bit about the class of 2020. Of the class of 2020, we had 56 valedictorians who had earned a 4.1 or higher. Like Mr. Negri said, 40% of those went to 4-year, 40% went to a 2-year college, and more than we've ever seen before. About 5% are going to vocational schools and art institutes, because here on campus, through the elective programs and our pathways, they've figured out, oh, I want to do leadership. I want to go into the service, or I really love art. I want to go to an art institute. Or through our makerspace and engineering programs, they figured they're really good at trades and they want to make stuff or they want to build things. So it's really exciting that your students have the opportunity while they're a teenager to dabble and then to really go deep and figure out what they want to do. Mr. Negri was faster on his screen talking than I was pressing the play on the last video. So I'm going to go backwards just a few slides. Close your eyes, everybody. All right, the electives video. I would put them all on one screen, but it would be a PowerPoint sin. So instead, I've got a video that was made and produced by students, featuring students. So pay attention, and I promise not to have it too loud.
I don't know what elective I should choose.
There's so many great options.
I want to be a student here at Woodside High School if I get to be in some of those classrooms. Mr. Negri, is there anything that you forgot while I'm whipping through your slides? Anything else you'd like to add?
No, sorry about that.
That's all right. It's all good information. So oftentimes when I'm speaking with parents, I speak about the 3 A's. Academics, of course, which we've covered a lot of, now activities, and then athletics. I think a high school, a large comprehensive high school, has to do all 3 really well to be a school of first choice. And so now I'm going to share the information about activities. Our queen of fun, student activity director, is Leslie With. Leslie, please say hello.
Hello, everyone. Hello, prospective Wildcats.
Wannabe Wildcats, we call them. All right, with our activity program, you can be in a course, in the leadership course, and have it as one of your electives. But if your schedule doesn't allow it, or if that's not your thing, you can start a club. Our clubs meet at lunch, and during the time of COVID, they're even Zooming at lunch. We've got a variety of clubs, and they're different every year, based on student interest, because students start and run clubs, and who their advisor is, their staff advisor. So clubs are a big part of campus, and you can belong to more than one club. We also, as I've discussed before, the leadership, elected, the shadowing course, the sports leadership course, and class boards at lunch. We missed homecoming last week. We didn't host a football game. We didn't host a homecoming all-school rally. We didn't host the school skits. Instead, we had a great time virtually, having a dress-up day each day and kids posting their photos on Instagram. And then every student who participated, who posted, we drew names out of the hat for winners. And we'll do a similar thing for Halloween tomorrow, because we're really just big kids. And of course, we celebrate the arts, the talent show, the spring musical contest, fall play, and art booms. All of those are electives. And I often get the question, what about drama? Do you have to take the drama elective to try out for a play? No, you do not. But again, drama would be a really great elective and activate another portion of your brain. So it'd be great to take drama or one of the arts, but you can always participate and compete or audition without being enrolled in the course. So let's see, because I miss homecoming so much, let's see a little bit about that Woodside School spirit. Friday Night Lights on Bradley Field. Oh, hold on, wrong button. There we go. Awesome. As a former cheer coach, I like how they nailed the stunts and the suicide splits by the dance team. Pretty darn impressive, as well as all of the musical accompaniment. Look how many kids are on the field. And that was only the first part of the homecoming halftime. We had hamster balls. We had human speed bumps. It was a great evening, and I look forward to doing it in maybe December, January this year. So we've talked about academics and activities, and now let's focus for a few slides on athletics. Tim Faulkner is our athletic director and Wildcat grad. Tim, say hello.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to virtually meet all of you.
Absolutely. So usually in a year, we have 3 seasons of sport, and we call it fall, winter, and spring. This year, we have 2 seasons of sport that'll be a little bit condensed. But in a real year, you can see the teams that we have, girls, boys, and co-ed, the winter sports and the spring sports. We hope to offer all of those during spring semester. We're just not going to have as long as seasons or as vital a playoff season. So let me discuss our philosophy for athletics. We're running teams, competitive teams who play to win. We are not running intramurals. Not everybody gets a chance to play. On some teams, there are cuts, and those decisions are made by the coach and influenced by what stipends we have for coaches, what equipment we have, and also what field time or court time we can provide a team, because it doesn't help us to fund and to have a freshman team if the only time that they can get on the court or field to practice is, say, from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. So all of those things go into our decision-making with Mr. Faulkner and Mr. Velskow, and it varies year to year. My philosophy is that varsity teams need to compete. They need to play to win, not to play every single player, but to play to win. The JV team plays to support and help advance athletes and run the varsity playbook. And if we're able to host a freshman team, the freshman team creates belonging and gives more students opportunity to be competitive at that JV and varsity level. But make no mistake about it, Wildcats play for victories. You can see we've got a nice board. I know this is a lot of information, but that's the point. Look how well in just the last 4 years, our teams have stacked up. Many of them make consistent appearances in CCS or PAL. We're governed by the Peninsula Athletic League and CCS Central Coast section. And then the umbrella over all of that is California Interscholastic Federation. You can see that we're pretty impressive. Your student, if they are a Division I quality athlete, will get the support and the training and exposure that they need to be able to be effective. Look at the cast of athletes who are playing now at their college level, class of 2020, UC Davis, Menlo College, Cal Poly, and on. You can see that it's for soccer, swimming, softball, volleyball, cross country, and track. Your student athlete can find his or her way as a Wildcat and earn that scholarship or a place on a college team. And remember, it's not just you, or it's not just your student. We spent a lot of time on the student, but you're looking for a place to belong as well. And so we have entering freshmen from about 20 different feeder schools for our class of 450 to 500. Our largest feeder school is Kennedy, but even they only contribute about 160 freshmen. So you can see that there are students and parents from so many different schools. This year, for instance, our parent leaders come from North Star, Selby Lane, Corder Madera, La Entrada, Kennedy, and private middle schools. So there is a place for you to belong as well, to support your student and get involved during their important teen years. Research of course shows that the more involved the parent is in the student's life, even though they'll tell you, no, you're not welcome, not true, you are. Get involved in a way that can support and bring you closer to your student, because they're going to be spending a lot of time with me and all the staff that you've met. Let's hear from the real users of our campus and the experience all the adults have been talking about. Please welcome our student panel: Ava from Woodside Elm, Chloe from Peninsula, Ethan, you've already met him, from Corte Madera, Natalie from Nativity, Carlos from Kennedy, and Calvin from North Star. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you can see their faces. You can ask some questions in the Q&A, and I know Mr. Negri and Miss Mazzei are looking at that. All right, find my mouse. There it is. I'm going to stop sharing, and we're going to highlight the kids, or there they are. Say hello. Make sure you're unmuted.
Hi.
Hi there. Kids,
Hello.
all kids can stay unmuted unless you've got a barking, brother or sister in the background. All right, Ethan, we're going to start with you. Please share your grade level. Well, your name, your grade level, your middle school, and two things you're involved with on campus. Ethan.
Ms. Burbank knows me far too well. My name is Ethan Lau. As I said at the beginning, I am a senior here at Woodside, and I went to Corte Madera, as Ms. Burbank quite eloquently introduced. 2 activities. Let's see. Well, I already introduced one at the beginning. So another activity that I'm involved in is the Freshman Transition Program, of which I'm one of the serving chief leaders alongside one of my colleagues who are also on the panel. And I'm also an SDMC council member.
Thank you. Chloe, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Chloe. I'm also a senior. I participate in Woodside soccer program, and I'm also a part of the Woodside Freshman Transition Program.
Ava.
Hi, I'm Ava, and I went to Woodside Elementary School. 2 things that I'm involved in this year is the Pink Ribbon Club and cheerleading.
Calvin, you need to unmute yourself. Join us.
Hi, I'm Calvin. I'm a junior. I went to North Star for my middle school, and I'm on the track and field team, and I'm also junior class treasurer.
All right, Natalie, a sophomore, your turn.
Hi, I'm Natalie. I'm a sophomore, as Ms. Burbank said. I am involved in drama and the competitive math club. And I came from Nativity School, sorry.
That's all right, I interrupted. Carlos, your turn.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carlos. I'm a junior, and I came from Kennedy, where a lot of you probably are coming from. I am involved with our school's freshman transition program. Along with Ethan, I'm a chief leader there, and I am on our school site council, which is awesome.
Great. So this really is an opportunity to look in the Q&A, and other than that introduction, it really is unscripted. So parents get to record questions. I will get it started just because I want to hear from them. If we don't have to go in order, you can popcorn it. What is one thing you miss about being on campus? Because I miss all y'all. What do you miss?
I can go.
Go ahead.
I miss joking around with my teachers. I love how they teach. All of my teachers were amazing. I just love being able to joke with them after class, jokingly asking questions, telling puns, competing over them, just kind of hanging out.
I personally miss being in the school environment, just having so many opportunities to, at the tips of your fingers. Woodside's a very spirited and well-rounded community that has opportunities to pursue whatever interests that you have. So I just miss having the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, I think I miss planning a lot of the events and leadership and actually attending a lot of the events. That was a lot of fun.
One thing I'd say I miss is the just conversation with folks from school, kind of going off of what Natalie mentioned earlier. You get a lot of opportunities at school to talk about and even debate sometimes, obviously in a civil and fun way, over topics, you know, in so many different classes. And I think that's something that I feel deprived of. It's still happening, just not as fun as it would be in class.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I was going to call on you, Calvin.
I was just going to say that, yeah, I really miss that personal connection that I had with a lot of my teachers. Like a lot of the teachers here I had, and, you know, I had fun talking to them after class, before class. So that's just something that I really miss.
I definitely miss being able to go into class and ask teachers for help, you know, face to face, and having them, like, especially Latin. I take Latin, which is a great course at Woodside. It's probably one of my favorites. But it's a really fun class, and the teacher's wonderful, and he really cares about each individual student. And so whether you needed help on like one problem from the homework, or you wanted a complete explanation of where a certain location was in Rome, he can tell you everything. And I just miss being able to go in and talk to him and have him explain things to me, because that was a really fun class, as are so many others that you can take at Woodside.
We'll let everybody else weigh in later, but Mr. Negri, you're in the dark. You need to move in your, yeah. When we're on campus, if we're still too long, the lights go out. It's kind of freaky. Okay, Mr. Negri, is there a question from the Q&A? You're muted, sweetie.
Yes, the question is, what is your favorite class and why?
I can go first. Probably same as a lot of students. My favorite class is Latin class. As said before, the teacher for Latin is one of my favorite teachers personally. And yeah, it's just a really fun class. You learn a lot of things about culture, but yeah, that's mine.
This year I'm taking APUSH, which is AP US History. An amazing class. Actually today I'm wearing this getup because we had our Shark Tank project. I was a cowboy pitching the idea of revolvers to our class, which is awesome. And there were so many other presentations like the Erie Canal and the steel plow, and you get to learn so much. I've learned a bunch. Our teacher integrates Hamilton even into our lessons, which is just awesome. And it's a great way to learn US history, which some could find boring. I think it's amazing.
So I'll go next as well, because there's a slight problem right now, is that I have had 5 of the teachers that are department heads that are on this panel, all of which cover basically all the subjects. So whatever subject I choose, I'm probably going to offend at least one of them. So, you know, like, in my opinion, no matter what class you take, it's going to be amazing regardless. Like, I know that, you know, I hope they've forgiven me for all the mischief that I did when I was in their classes, because, you know, I was very silly back then, and I was, oh, now I can see Calvin's. Hey, Calvin. But I don't have a favorite, because they're all my favorites, you know, because no matter how much I didn't realize back then when I was, you know, working through, you know, probably the weirdest physical and mental transition in, you know, this part of my life, you know, they pushed me forward regardless of, you know, how I felt. And now that I'm a senior and I'm looking back on the years, I'm so appreciative of it because, you know, because they were pushing us, because they believed in us. So that's why I don't have a favorite, because looking back on it, I love all of them for everything they've done and everything that they have taught me. That being said, I love math.
Kind of adding on to what Ethan said, I genuinely feel that with each, from freshman year to currently I'm in junior year, even over Zoom, like, each teacher genuinely cares. And it's not just like you're a face in the halls, you know, that they pass and they've, you know, lectured. You genuinely feel cared about with every single teacher, especially that I've had, has been so phenomenal. And with like the AP and the regular, I've taken both. So my sophomore year, I took my first semester AS English, which was a great course. But I also took the second semester, just regular English. And I have to tell you that no matter which one you take, you will get just great teachers. Both my teachers were great. Shout out to Mr. Mueller who's also on this panel. But I have learned so much from each of them, and each teacher that I've had throughout like every single course, like even this year, and I'm taking AP Environmental Science, and Miss Akey's phenomenal. Like I literally can name 100 names, and each teacher has made a direct impact into my life. And I know that that's one of the things I value most about Woodside, and a lot of other students do, is that you just feel very like they do everything in their possible will to help you and make sure that you are ready for success and that you are succeeding.
Two more to share, or do you want another question?
Good.
All right.
No,
go ahead.
I can't decide between two of my classes. I'd say drama is definitely one of my favorites because I am a very serious student at times, but drama is the one class where I can really let go and show my true colors in so many different ways. Barry, our drama teacher, is so creative and so amazing. And my really, really close second is chemistry. It's so fun for me. My teacher's even in here. I love your class. I don't know, there's just so much to love about all my classes at Woodside.
Yeah, I'm gonna add on to that. Shout out to Ms. B. I really liked chemistry. The labs were really fun, and they add to learn. Like it helps you learn a lot more when you can do. Like I'm a hands-on person. I have to like do it. I can't just sit in the lecture. And labs and then the write-ups after help you really understand the content. I also really like chemistry. And then shout out to Miss With and Mr. Faulkner. Leadership is definitely a close second because planning all the events, you really get to like see the behind the scenes of Woodside and all the events, and you get to plan them, and it's honestly really fun. You get to you get closer to your classmates and stuff like that, and you kind of see what goes on behind the scenes.
Before the next question, I want to share that when I, as a principal, have a heavy decision to make, and I'm tired of being chained to my desk, and I will go to two rooms to kind of get connected with students, and that is the ceramics classroom and also the orchestra. I love strings, and so those are the two classrooms that I will go when I just need to, let my brain go before I have to make a tough decision, because it reminds me that we're here for kids to do things. All right, another question, Maze or
Yes. I go to the audio performance digital and play the drums. Anyway, what made you choose Woodside High School when you were an 8th grade student?
I'll speak to that. So my default district school is actually MA. So I have a district transfer to Woodside because I actually preferred Woodside when I went. I shadowed at both schools when I was in 8th grade. I came from a small private school, so I had that option. I chose Woodside because I really liked their athletic program, and I still do, and I liked the campus. The campus was one of the really big things that kind of drew me to Woodside. There's something about it, and maybe it's because it's an outdoor campus, and my middle school was a really like outdoorsy campus as well, that I really liked that, and yeah, the athletics.
Well, I'm actually a second generation Woodside student. My mom came here and a bunch of my family, which was a big factor in my decision, but also I come from Kennedy Middle School. I actually live across the street. So getting to Woodside is actually, that's going back to one of the questions that was asked earlier. That's one of the things I miss most. I used to walk to school every day, and just walking up, there's that side Alameda entrance, which I would walk up. I think we call it the catwalk, and just getting to walk up there, seeing the new gym, the J Wing, all of that good stuff. It makes you feel good. That's something when I was at school, maybe I wouldn't have said, but now that I've had time to reflect, it's just the little things like that. The walk up to school, the greeting your classmates and your teacher every morning, which I saw at my shadow when I came to shadow. Also the shadowing, which was awesome. The person I shadowed was great, and I saw so many great classes. So that's really the camaraderie you see here. That's pretty much why I came.
So I have a bit of a confession to make in comparison to Carlos and I'm sorry. Who was the first one? I'm so sorry. I'm blanking right now. Was it you, Chloe? Yeah, that makes sense. No, I'm just kidding. The reason why I came to Woodside is because I failed my ISCE. I think that's what it was called. And Woodside was the school that my middle school, Corvandero, goes to. So I kind of just happened to fall here on accident. But if I honestly, it was the best mistake that I've made in my life because of the 18 years that I've had on this planet so far, mainly because, as Carlos said, the camaraderie, and as Chloe said, the facilities that we have here are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, like I have not seen a campus this big that feels comfortable. And that's something that was really, really surprising. Then again, I wasn't a very good student when I first came to Woodside, and Natalie can attest to how much I messed around when we were doing our scenes. So I can't really say anything else, but that's what was really attractive about Woodside especially in my first year.
I have the next question.
Sorry, could I?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Really quickly, I actually didn't start off at Woodside High School. I started off at Notre Dame Belmont, which is an all-girls private high school in Belmont, California. So I started off there with like really good intentions, and I was super excited, to get in. And I came from a very small middle school, which was Woodside Elm. It was a class of graduating 35 kids. We had 10 girls and about like 20-ish guys. So it was a very small, tight-knit community. And so going into Notre Dame, I was kind of worried because I wanted to have like a more, bigger environment where I could have so many more opportunities. And not that school didn't do that. I just found that that environment wasn't the right place for me. So pretty soon, actually. So in October of my freshman year, I transferred at Woodside. Or no, I didn't transfer, sorry. I shadowed at Woodside and decided that I was going to transfer. And immediately the second the first semester started, I was so pumped to go. And I was a little nervous because, it's a huge school. And from being in such a small environment my entire life, academically, I never really knew what to expect. And I was really nervous. But on my first day, I was so welcomed. And honestly, I wish I would have just gone to Woodside from the start and not wasted my time with Notre Dame. But I wish that I could have spent more time with Woodside just because of all the opportunities and friendships and lifelong lessons, honestly, that the school has given me. So it's a great place, and high school is what you make of it, but I am glad that I got to call Woodside my home.
And I'd like to, sorry, can I add one more thing? Sorry, I don't mean to draw out the question, but I, like Chloe and Ava, came from a really small private school of 20 kids in our entire class. And I went from there. I did apply to a bunch of other private schools, and I shadowed at every place, but the minute I stepped onto this Woodside campus, I immediately knew I had to come here because it was so open. Everybody was so nice. Teachers were absolutely incredible, and I knew this was where I wanted to go.
Better jump in there with another question.
All right. I have the next question. Thank you, Ms. Gordon, for asking. No school is perfect in every way. What challenges do we need to know about before coming to Woodside?
Okay, so for me personally, some challenges I came into, middle school, there was never too much work. It was pretty chill. Woodside, they have great classes, and you're obviously going to have to do a good amount of work if you want to do great in those classes. So that's one thing I had to adapt to. But I think as long as you're committed and you want to do good in those classes, I think any student can do perfectly fine.
I think for me, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think for me as well, my middle school was pretty relaxed, but I think that coming into Woodside has really, like, even from my freshman year, it's kind of like a teaches you so much responsibility, which I honestly definitely think is helpful for me in the long run. But my freshman year is definitely like a transition. But I'm so thankful for it. And, you know, no high school is really perfect, I think. But like I said earlier, it's really what you make of it. And something that I have always struggled with, or not struggled with, but something that I've always seen as a challenge was like math and stuff. So if your student does struggle with a certain topic, there are so many resources that you just need to know about the resources, but I promise you there are so many that can help your student if they need more like individual help. But I wish that I knew that my freshman year coming in. But we have like teachers and teacher office hours. We used to have like a little in the den and after school physics and math and all subject help. So that, yeah.
Yeah.
And what's, oh, go, Chloe, you were talking first. So no, go ahead.
Mine's gonna be a response. Do you have a question for Ava? I thought you were gonna ask a question. So.
No. I was just gonna make a comment. Go, please.
Oh, okay. Yeah, kind of additionally to what Ava was saying, I think one of my personal biggest challenges going into high school in general was that the atmosphere was completely different than my middle school. I came from a class of 16 students, and I was also really worried about the academics because my school was more focused on kind of building you as a person rather than your academics. So I was really nervous about that going into my freshman year. But like Ava said, if you know where the resources are, like your teachers are there to help you. And I definitely regret not using them as much as I should have freshman year. I definitely got more comfortable in my sophomore year to kind of go up to teachers, and I was a really shy freshman, and to like utilize the quiet study in the den. But yeah.
We can come back to that question too if y'all think of anything, but I understand there's one more question to ask.
There is. Let's talk about homework. How much homework do you have on a nightly basis? Don't mind the teachers that are here. Sometimes there's, teachers think it's this much time and students think it's this much time. So there you go.
And know that your principal thinks homework are like vitamins. It's good for you.
I'd like to start off by saying that in middle school, you hear it all the time from your teachers. At least I did. In high school, you're going to be buried in homework, swamped. And you know what? For the first few weeks, I'll admit, I felt that way. I was taking 2 advanced classes, but you settle into it really. And it might be a little more than what you're used to, but at the end of the day, it's really not that much, especially now, actually. I think a big concern right now, kind of the zeitgeist of our time, and shout out to, I'm pretty sure Mr. Mueller for teaching me that, is, COVID, coronavirus, staying home. When your students come here, chances are we'll still be doing distance learning. And I know personally, I served on our district's academic operations task force, where we discussed this stuff. And people were concerned that it would be too much of a strain on students to assign homework. And the concern is valid, but as a student, I'm taking 2 AP classes this year. And I feel that the teachers have been so considerate with their homework. It's what's to be expected from AP, but it's also not an overwhelming amount of homework that you're getting. So just wanted to throw that in there for any of you that were concerned.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that, but I feel like honestly, I'm taking 2 AP classes as well this year, and I feel like people were telling me like that I should be so scared and that I was going to be like, having piles and piles on my desk, and I was worried also because of distance learning. But I think Carlos and I may be taking the same 2 classes. We're actually in the same APUSH class, and I can definitely vouch for APUSH is that I feel like I am learning so much, and that the homework that we receive is a total reinforcement of what we learn in class. And so, and our teacher, Miss Masiosi, I always butcher her name, but she definitely assigns work that helps you gain a real understanding of the topics that we learn in class. And a lot of the homework that I've gotten from both of my AP classes and just regular classes as well is just preparing you for the SAT from my math class. I've definitely been prepared for that. They all prepare, like all of the teachers that I've had so far, 100% prepare you for what you're going to like have to encounter in the future, the SAT, writing college essays, college applications, the AP test, more like that. But yeah, it's definitely, it's work, but if there's no work, there'll be no improvement. And just, it's not that bad, and it's manageable if you got the right mindset. So yeah.
I'm gonna disagree with you guys for the first part of my high school career. I'm just gonna say this. Looking on it now, and I said this at a different panel that we had a while ago, is that I feel much better about assignments, homework, and stuff now. Like I actually, and I used this last time, I actually enjoy getting the work done early now. Like, I don't think that's something I would ever have said in my freshman year. And because of that ethos, I now have less homework. But I don't expect, and like, because I have to, I'm coming down to you guys, because I realize that, and whenever I talk about this, is that we don't always start off where I'm at now, where Chloe is now at now, where Ava is, Natalie, Calvin, and Carlos. And I'll be honest, it's really, it's very, there's no definite amount of time. I myself, I was a very slow learner. I struggled to pick up on things and concepts. I was not a very fast reader. So I had to spend a lot of extra time. And, you know, I like in my, what was it? Junior year, I was taking like 4 APs. This year, I'm taking 3 APs in a college course. It's a lot of work. It's a lot. And I won't shred it down. It's like, for me, I'm spending maybe 5 hours, you know, around that. But the thing about it is that over time, it gets easier, because if you apply yourself and you're studious, which is hard. I know it is hard. I'll be honest about that. But I won't water it down by saying it's going to be easy. But if you put in the effort and you really, and my thinking, and I just realized this year, is that you try to enjoy what you're doing. That's the big thing, is that it won't feel like you're doing 5 hours. It won't feel like you're going on for an eternity. You'll have time to have that social life. You'll have time to go to games. You'll have time to go to a dance with a date. So that's my perspective on homework.
Ethan, growing up is hard to do. I've got, let's have the other, I think just 2 more haven't answered, or is it 3? And then we're going to wrap it up.
I'll agree with Ethan on that. I was gonna say it's kind of how you apply yourself and how you kind of go about your assignments, because there's not really a set amount of time. It's kind of how you learn and how you can complete it and the effort you're willing to put into it. Personally, on some nights I'll be so stressed out and so tired that I'm just like, I just need to get through it, and I won't enjoy it like Ethan's talking about. There's other times where there's assignments, like I personally really like projects. I like decorating projects. I'm really into that. And so it's things like that where if you're willing to put in the time, it doesn't feel like a long time. And Ethan's right, despite how much work you have time to go to events and stuff like that. And I think that's really important. And you have, like Ava said earlier, you have the resources at school to help you when you need it. And specifically, they were talking about distance learning earlier. I think my teachers have done a really good job of like balancing that workload between I want to say it's a little less than I had in school, but what we're doing is focus exactly on what we're learning in class, and it doesn't feel like I'm doing busy work, and I think that's really important for homework in general.
Just to finally add on to that, like really quickly.
What? Ava.
Never mind.
Carlos. Carlos, you froze on me, or Natalie, I think you haven't had a chance to answer.
I'm sorry, you go.
You can go.
All
And
right.
you don't have to answer that question. I'm giving you the opportunity to end.
Oh.
Say what you want. Not the
Right.
whole thing. Not the whole thing.
Okay. I definitely don't want to sugarcoat anything by saying their homework's going to be easy. There's not going to be any work, but it does fluctuate a little bit with what classes you take. I think that's something to keep in mind. If you take advanced classes and compared to regular classes, I think you should be ready for that extra homework and extra effort that you should put in. But yes, it does definitely get easier throughout the year and you get used to it. And usually it doesn't feel like you're just sitting there doing homework for a few hours every night. Teachers are usually pretty nice about giving students time to do whatever extracurriculars they want to, like sports, hang out with friends. So I think no matter what classes there should be, there's gonna be a good amount of homework, but it will be okay.
It will be okay. Natalie.
Yeah, a lot of great points. I definitely agree that homework, it's really reasonable. There's not too much work. However, I am a master procrastinator. I'm working on that though. It definitely takes the desire to want to do well in school. You have to want to succeed. You have to want to do your work and kind of go for those grades that you're like those top grades. But yeah, overall, I don't have a problem with it.
Awesome. Well, let's give our kids, woo! So nice to see you all. Lots of love out there. And Carlos, a wise man, said if they could just read the chat that we're all having with each other and the fun that we have, I think that would show a lot, but we're not going to. I think my personal motto is work hard and play hard. And I think that's what you've seen from the students tonight. So wave goodbye, students, as I share my screen.
And you can do it too.
Yes, I can. They can too. Want to be Wildcats class of 2025. You can be one of those boxes. We have this webinar. We'll get it posted on our website. Visit our website to find out about our shadowing program for current 8th graders. We usually have an open house on a Saturday morning in January. We hope to be able to do that again, but it would give you another opportunity to come on campus, or your only opportunity probably by then to come on campus. And then the open enrollment deadline, if you are not already within the Woodside boundaries, you will have to, and you're in the district, you will have to apply, as some of these students successfully did. So all of this information will be, of course, posted as a PowerPoint on the website with links for the shadowing and the open enrollment deadline. As many of our department chairs shared, check the academic tab to visit their websites and communicate. At this point in the evening, I would usually be saying goodbye and saying the math and science people are going to be over in that corner, and English social studies over here, and the electives teachers out in the lobby, and you would be able to see us all and ask your questions. Since we're not able to do that, I'm referring you to the website. Thank you very much for coming. Now more than ever, a public school of first choice, such as Woodside High School, is an excellent choice for you, your family, and of course, your wannabe Wildcat. Usually I end every speech that I give with a go Wildcats, but since we're on Zoom, I'm now ending it with go away Wildcats, go away Wildcats.